Hey y'all, this is Meezdehr pool, and this is where I have my camera. When I'm pointing it at this wall over here, that's where I stand. I don't want to show you my room because it's really dirty in here. I mean, it's messy. It's not dirty, but I got a lot of cats, so they. This is where I keep my camera. I put my camera right here, and I point it there. So when I'm talking, and this is interesting. This movie here. I'm still in the process of reading this book, and I'm going to need space and time, like on a train trip, to read that book. But I will read it and finish it. It's a very good book. This movie right here, I think it really applies, and I think there's a lot of symbolism in the movie. There is a message here that goes as far to say that we humans are there is something that's running everything. Okay, there is this kind of plan that's working behind the scenes to get people distracted or to control their behavior. So essentially, the aliens they're represented. The elite, the rich people, are represented by the aliens, and then there are the people that are like trying to get, you know, they're getting raises and promoted, and anyhow, it's a pretty good movie. It's really timely for even today. It was made in the '80s, but it speaks volumes about just the world in general. What else is going with this? So I have like a science fiction row here, and these are some of my favorite science fiction movies. Now, if I really like the movie, I will buy it on DVD, unless I see a DVD at a yard sale or at the half-price books, and I kind of, or at Walmart. I got this at Walmart. This is the trilogy of the Planet of the Apes. It's pretty good. This is also like this other one. It has a message in it. There's a real message in these movies about the human condition. If you read between the lines. Another movie that deals with kind of society is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The people that have had their bodies snatched are just people that have sold themselves out into the system, and they're not no longer people. They're alienated people from their humanity. Of course, The God Delusion. This was an interesting book. Mr. Dawkins is quite a brilliant man. He really is. He's really done a considerable work here to explain the science, this biological sciences, in relation to how people have approached their religion, their beliefs, and having to deal with the scientific findings. With that, and you learn a little bit about him personally in there. He gives out some personal information about him to his own self in that book, which is I was kind of shocked that he did that. But if you hear the book or read the book, you'll know what I'm saying. Here's some of my other books that I have. Of course, Cosmos, Carl Sagan. Still a book that really is. It's still good information. It's still up to date. Another interesting film is these movies here pertain to what the future could be. So there's like artificial intelligence, robots. There's like biological crashes. I got some more down here where there's environmental disasters and technological disasters, earthquakes, volcanoes. Escape of organisms of bacteria, lab organisms, and then there's alien contact here. And this is a good movie here. This was kind of, it's a little dated, but the one part in this movie that I thought was really spiritual was that when he met. When the guy was one of the astronauts that landed on Mars wanted to learn about the Martians. The other ones, all they wanted to do is exploit the planet, but he wanted to learn about the Martians, and he found an old city where the Martians used to live because the Martians were no longer there, and he eventually, one of the characters in the story meets up with a Martian, and the Martian explains the whole idea of just being alive and being in itself. That is the meaning of life, just to be. And it was very Buddhist, you know, when he explained that way. And there was another one. He had this movie, The War of the Worlds. It was kind of really a scary movie. I mean, this is scary. And the characters themselves should have been able to react. They should have been able to deal with the aliens in a different kind of way. Instead they thought they could use military power to fight the aliens, and the aliens ended up getting killed off from disease. So Mars Attacks, that's funny. That's kind of, you know, people assume they're going to be friendly aliens, and they're not. They're so I don't know what to say. I don't know where I'm going with this video, but this is an interesting audiobook. He profiles the God out of the Bible, and builds a kind of who this God, what personality this God is from the Old Testament, and it's quite a book. I mean, I was interested in that, and I listened to that in my car. And then Alan Watts' the book, The Taboo Against Knowing Who You Are. Carl Sagan, Demon Haunted World. I think I was talking about that in another one. There's some more thriller movies up here. This one, The Surviving the Game, is pretty good. Ice-T's in that, and he's hunted down by these guys that are hunters, and their game is to hunt down a person, and they have a trophy room. And if you haven't seen this movie, it's pretty good. There's Breakdown with Kurt Russell. I think his wife gets kidnapped, and it's kind of a good movie. Breakdown. Then Pacific Heights, where a couple buys that apartment building in San Francisco, and one of the tenants is Michael Keaton, and he turns out to be really bad, and that's a good movie. California, I was watching that with yes, that's a good movie. That's he's really bad in that. The character's bad, you know, he's a bad guy. So then I have some comedy here with, you know, about money and about just funny, you know, situations with people trying to get money, greedy people, and scammers. Good House of Games, a scammer. Lady gets taken for real. She's supposed to be a psychologist, writes a book about people controlling other people, and she ends up getting involved with these guys that are con artists. They take her money, take her for a ride, and just totally take her money. She ends up getting even, but you'll see. If you haven't seen the movie, you'll see it. It's a good movie. Then I have my other, like, mafia movies, and, you know, here and gangster movies, and yeah. So anyhow, this is I don't know where this is going, but these walls, these bookshelves, they're kind of like an expression of myself. I kind of am a bit of a tapestry of all of the culture that forms my mind. You know, that's how I think is from my exposure to films and a lot of audiobooks too. I have a lot of those in educational materials. But all of this I have on MP3. If anyone out there has audiobooks, then I don't know what to say. It would be nice if I could share what I have and have a discussion with other people on what I have. But if you've seen any movies in here, or you know about any of these other subjects, then I have horror over here and fantasy, and mystery, science fiction, a little bit up here, and then I have comedy, you know, drug movies, art movies about artists, musicians, and up here I got movies about science, crazy scientists, crazy scientific experiments. So anyhow, that's probably all I should say. There's more over here too. I got more films. I get a lot of these from garage sales, or I go to the Goodwill, or the we used to have Salvation Army had a thrift store. They went out of business, which is kind of disheartening. But so anyhow, if you got movies, then keep them, and then that way you can always look at them and go, yeah, I remember watching that movie. It was a cool movie, and they just put it on again if you ever get bored. So, but anyhow, signing off. Bye.